we must act on our faith. Mark chapter 10, verses 46 to 52. Then they came to Jericho. As Jesus and his disciples, together with a large crowd, were leaving the city, a blind man, Bartimaeus, which means son of Timaeus, was sitting by the roadside begging. When he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to shout, "Son of David, Jesus, have mercy on me." Many rebuked him and told him to be quiet. But he shouted all the more, "Son of David, have mercy on me." Jesus stopped and said, "Call him." So they called to the blind man, "Cheer up, on your feet, he's calling you." Throwing his cloak aside, he jumped to his feet and came to Jesus. "What do you want me to do for you?" Jesus asked him. The blind man said, "Rabbi, I want to see." "Go," said Jesus. "Your faith has healed you." Immediately he received his sight and followed Jesus along the road. Jesus asks this blind man, "What do you want me to do for you?" You would think it would be an obvious question, an obvious answer rather. This man was blind. But it's not always obvious what we want Jesus to do for us or what we need him to do for us. Just a few verses earlier, two of the disciples, James and John, had said to Jesus that they wanted him to do something for them, and he asked them exactly the same question. "What do you want me to do for you?" In their case, they wanted him to make them great. And so he told them how to become great, and it wasn't what they expected. It was that in order to be great, they needed to become servants. And in the case of blind Bartimaeus, he says that he wants to see. And he discovers, as his faith heals him, that seeing is much more than simply his physical eyes being opened. He ends up following Jesus along the road. What do you want Jesus to do for you? Let's look at this blind Bartimaeus. Who was he? What do we know from the text? Firstly, he was the son of Timaeus. The word Timaeus means honor. The name Timothy is linked to it, which means honoring God. We know he was blind. How long had he been blind? We don't know, but he's spoken of in the passage as recovering his sight, which implies that at some point he was able to see. He's a beggar, which means he can't work. He's sitting by the road. He's stuck in life. He can't move forward. He believes that Jesus is the Son of David. And for Jews, this was a title of the promised Messiah. And he believes that Jesus can have mercy on him. That's interesting in itself. Wanting mercy implies you don't think it's a right. It's something you don't necessarily feel you deserve, but you're asking for. He's persistent. The crowd tell him to shut up, but he keeps calling on the Son of David until he gets an answer. And he's confident. When Jesus invites him to come to him, he jumps up. He leaves his cloak behind, which to me seems a big deal because the cloak would have been a very precious possession. It appears that he wants more than his physical sight. We know that he's a man of faith. Jesus said that his faith had healed him. We know that Jesus told him to go. He's no longer going to be sitting by the road begging. In other words, there's a purpose for his life. He's got a life to lead. But he doesn't go, does he? Instead, he follows Jesus. So we know that he was the son of Timaeus, that he was blind, that he was a beggar, that he was stuck by the road, that he believed that Jesus was the Messiah and could have mercy on him, that he was persistent, that he was confident, that he was a man of faith, and that rather than going, he followed Jesus. We're told that many were rebuking him so that he might be silent, to stop him acting on his faith? Who or what is it that rebukes you in your life to try to make you not to take action on your faith? When Jesus calls him, the actual word in the Greek is invite him to come here. Again, it's not a command, it's an invitation. Bartimaeus has to take action if he really wants to. And then, of course, Jesus' stunning words to him, your faith has healed you. Normally, we would say that Jesus' power had healed this man, and technically that's true, but Jesus wanted to emphasize the fact that it was this man's faith that had healed him. In other words, he was willing to act on his faith. We must act on our faith. And when Bartimaeus acted on his faith, he found that Jesus' gift to him was much more than was contained in Bartimaeus' question. He said, I want to see again. But the gift he received was not only his physical sight, but was the power, the courage, the opportunity to follow Jesus on the road. What do you want Jesus to do for you? And let's remember, we must act on our faith. God bless you.